Hey, this is Jason with Denwerks. Thought I'd take you out in the country here and show you our 1968 Dodge D200 camper special. You know, it's a 3/4 ton truck, heavy duty. We'll walk around here. I'll show you different things about it, show you the paint condition, and I just thought it was kind of fitting to be out here. Right here's a big vineyard. Tons of vineyards here in Oregon. Anyways, we'll walk around it, and this truck's real stock looking. That's what I like about it. We'll show you the headlights here, turn signals. Got bright lights. Turn left, turn right. And when it pulled up here, you saw the marker lights working on it. You can see they're on there. You know, in 1968, cars and trucks starting to have marker lights on the sides, so people could see them on the sides. And you would think that someone just put on these little reflectors. Those are actually Mopar reflectors. You can see those on a lot of trucks. The little marker light there, I'm not sure, but I've actually seen those on other Dodge D100 and D200 pickups. And if you do a search on the internet, sometimes you'll see it. Right here, the camper special. This is a truck you don't see that often, actually, especially in this condition. I like the body style of the Dodges, actually. They're a little wider. They actually call this a swept line. That's what the model is. We'll take a look at the front here. You know, it's got little paint flaws and stuff. It's not a, a high dollar paint job or anything. It was done quite a long time ago. But you can see some, small chips and stuff in the paint. You can see right here, there's a big long scratch that's been touched up. You can see some of the chrome is pitted. There's another little chip. But overall, I mean, the truck's real straight. When you look down the sides of it, it's actually real nice. There's no chips in the windshield, no cracks. It's very clean. Nice thing is, too, you can look in the roof gutter here. It's not rusty. They usually get real rusty in there. Actually, most pickups. You can see some little tiny bubbling, some little chips and stuff in the bottom of the door. When you look underneath the door, when you open the doors, they're very clean. No rust here in the bottom of the fender. I like the poverty caps. Those are original for 1968. Look down the side of the bed. There's no dents. Hard to find these trucks with all the chrome still on. Look down the side. You can actually hear it running. I mean, it sounds real nice. It's got dual exhaust on it. Go ahead and show you the lights. Got brake lights. Running lights are on actually right now. You just have to look kind of close there. Got blinkers. You can see the license plate here has lights as well. That license plate doesn't go with the truck. I took that out of my collection of old dealer plates. I kind of collect them. I like to show them with the rigs. If you went to the dealership, when it was new, you want to go on a little test drive, they throw one of those on there. Here you can look on this side. It's actually real straight down the side. I mean, it's a clean old truck. Like I said before, you see Fords and you see Chevys, but you rarely ever see Dodges. And I think they're actually pretty unique looking, very vintage looking. It's got Toyo AT, open country tires. They've got probably about 85% tread. You can see a couple little bubbles starting there in the bottom corners of the doors. You can see the original Pentastar there. You would think they're supposed to have them on both sides, but actually if you look at a lot of Mopars, Chargers, different things, that's kind of a signature little thing that they put there. But you can get a good idea of the way the outside looks like here. We'll show pictures of little chips and things, but you can see one right here. It had some big camper mirrors on it right here that came here. You actually get those too if you want them. But we'll take a look here underneath the hood, take a look at the interior, and and just give you an overview. We'll take it out and drive it. We'll show you with the radio working and showing the gauges and stuff. So anyways, wanna ride? Hey, here we are out driving the D200 camper special out here in the country in Oregon. It's a great driving truck. Nice thing about it is, you know, a lot of the Ford and Chevys, I think these trucks are a little bit wider, which is nicer, you know, when you're sitting inside here, you know, 3 people can sit across the seat, a lot easier. You know, it's real simple across the dash. One thing I like looking at, when you look, you know, out over the hood there, you can see the assimilated looking vents on each side, and then you have these big ribs down the center. It's very cool when you're driving it and you can see that. You know, there's just little appointments, you know, little things that I like even the shape of the mirror. Here it's kind of oval on the bottom and straight, and even this bracket is interesting to me. But if you look at the dash pad, there's no cracks, and this is actually a bolted on unit. You can actually hold on to it. You know, it's not molded into the dash. I don't know if it was like an afterthought, you know, when they came out with need-in dash pads, so they thought, hey, let's, instead of re-engineering the whole thing, they bolted this on here. You can see all the gauges, fuel gauge is working, amp gauge. It's got 91,584 miles on it. You can see the speedometer is working, temp gauge. We've been out driving it for a while. See the oil pressure is right in the middle. It's got an AM FM Kenwood in it with CD, and it has a USB port right there, and it's also set up for Bluetooth if you wanted to add that. Ashtray, there's your heater controls, horns working, there's your wipers. I actually like how that's kind of old school, you know, coming out and in together instead of going in one direction. But you got your light control, choke. Anyways, it's just a nice driving truck. You know, it's got a 4-speed transmission in it. It's got granny and then 3-speed. But it shifts nice. The clutch feels good in it. But here we'll just continue cruising here. We'll pull over. I'll show you a few more things about the interior, and so we'll just keep on cruising here and enjoy the ride. Here we are going to take a look at the interior. It's in great shape. We'll start with the seat. Seat's in very, very nice condition. There's actually no rips in it, no tears. The springs feel great. It was done a few years ago, and they did a nice job on it. See, it's got seat belts. You can see the dome light works. Nice headliner. Showed you this while we were driving too. The dash pad's in great shape. Steering wheel's excellent. There's no cracks. Small crazing in the emblem there. You can see that emblem matches on the hubcaps too. You know, the dash in general is in nice shape. It's got a newer carpet in it. You can see here, this little mechanism here is old school trailer brakes. So if you had a trailer on the back, vintage trailer or a boat or something like that, you can grab that while you're braking and have the brake stop it. Door panels are nice. You can see one little crack right there on the door panel. Starting to rain out here, so a little bit of rain's getting on my door. These here, door panels are really hard to find. These are in excellent condition. I don't think they reproduce those. And if you don't have those, they're all cracked up. I actually had a truck, I had to repair it. It's just very hard to find those. You can see I'm a little into everything. I got an old tractor back there. You can see the door rubbers. They could use replaced. But the door jams underneath the doors, we show still shots of this as well. Underneath the doors are nice. You can see inside the door jamb. Very, very clean. Original VIN plate as well. VIN matches the title. There's also another VIN on the truck. It's up there on the horn, frame horn up on the passenger side. I'll show you a still shot of that too. Okay, here we are at the passenger side. You can see again the dash pad's in excellent shape. It's got a Kenwood stereo, USB port, and also you can put, I think you can put Bluetooth. You can see the heater controls down here. Ashtray. Doesn't smell like smoke or anything in here. It's just got an ashtray in there. No cigarette lighter though. You can see the door jamb's great. You know, no rust. You can see this door panel, very good shape. No cracks in this piece. Underneath the doors are in great condition. So overall, I mean, it's a clean interior. I mean, this is one that if you wanted to take your girlfriend or wife out, or vice versa, you know, maybe your wife wanted to take you out, it would be great. Actually, the previous owner of this truck was a lady. She's had it for a number of years. She told me she got it from her dad. It was just an original truck that he had, and she painted it probably, she probably said like 20 years ago, and just used it. But you know, they were moving and stuff, and they just decided that, you know, it was just time to let it loose. So, but she was the driver of it. I mean, for at least the last 20 years, she said. So. Anyways, we'll show you underneath the hood. Okay, here we are underneath the hood of the Dodge. That is the original 318. The date code's on the bottom, 2/8/1968, and then on the other side, that's on the passenger side. On the driver's side, it shows 318 on it as well, and so does the transmission. It has the same dates on it. So it is the original numbers matching motor and tranny. It's been upgraded with a 4-barrel Edelbrock Performer intake and Edelbrock 4-barrel carburetor. You can see it's got like a K&N filter here, but everything else is stock besides that. It's got power brakes on it. It's got a power brake booster. You know, very tidy underneath the hood. I mean, it looks good. You can see the distributors there in the back. A lot of the later 318s were actually up front like Fords. You know, this one's here in the back. It's an older engine, 1968. You can see the aprons are very clean. You know, it's not hit or anything like that. It's the original apron. We'll go ahead and start it up so you can get a feel of the sound of it. You know, it's a good sounding little truck. You know, very smooth when it's running. You can see the gas is real clean. You know, right down here, actually you have to look through the wheel well, but right down in this area on the side is where that VIN number is. It's actually, look through here, it's right up there by the spring perch. But anyways, this gives you a good idea of what it looks like underneath the hood, what it sounds like. Original radiator, you can see the star right there. You know, it's a nice truck, and you see us driving it and stuff, and it's very, very smooth, and it's in great shape. You know, this truck sounds great. I love the dual exhaust on it, and very throaty sounding. Just sounds nice. So anyways, we'll pop open the tailgate here. See across here, it's not rusty. You know, up here in the jam. Very clean. You can see the bed. It's got some little, waves in it. It's hauled some stuff in its life. But nothing major. I mean, this is pretty common. You actually even look at that new commercial that they have for Chevy trying to beat up Dodge. Chevy's trying to beat up Fords on the aluminum beds, and they'll drop a whole bunch of bricks in there, and it does the same thing to the bed. But, it is what it is. It looks good, and it's not all rusty up here in the front. It's very usable. See a couple little holes here. Another one here for a little tie down. But overall, it's usable. This is a truck you can actually take and use if you got a vintage camping trailer or a vintage boat or something. You can put a canopy on it and, put everything in there, haul wood. It's very versatile. So anyways, we'll take a look underneath the truck and show you what it looks like underneath. Okay, here we are underneath the truck. It's actually really solid underneath. We'll go ahead and take a look at the engine. There's just a couple things I wanted to show on it. When I was up above, I was saying I wasn't sure if it's 100% the original motor, but I believe it is. If you look right here, there's actually a date 2/8/1968, and actually the transmission says the same thing. And if you look over here on this side, you can see where it says 318-4. So it is a 318 like I suspected, and it is the original motor. I'll show you here on the tranny. You can see right there 2/8/68 as well. So it's the original 4-speed transmission. The frame is in really good shape on the truck. Inside the wheel wells here, you can tell they're not hit. It's very clean. A lot of different surface rust and different things, but overall it's really solid for a truck. A couple things I'm going to do. This is the first time I've actually had it up on the lift. You can see these motor mounts have some cracking and stuff in them. They're still functionable, but we're going to go ahead and change those tomorrow on it, so both sides. And everything else looks pretty good. There's a couple things in the back I'll show you. It's got dual exhaust on it all the way back. And I think that was done in 2004. I thought I saw a date on something. You can see a little bit of leaking. We're going to tighten this up a little bit on the tranny, but just a little seeping. Nothing hits the ground on it or anything like that. You can see the floors are in nice shape. No rust. Very solid. We're going to take still photos too, so you can see that. Inside here is really important. This is inside the rockers, and they're very solid and look excellent. You can see inside the back of the cab. Looks nice too. You can see up here in the mount is clean. Look here on the other side. The mount here is clean. You can tell the rockers are very nice. There's factory drains right here. They're not clogged. You can see kind of a yellow underneath here. I think that's the factory sealer, because this truck was kind of a ivory white originally. You can see the back of the cab is really nice. Right here, no rust bubbles. Now this here, this bearing, this carrier bearing, it's got some cracking around it, and you can actually hear it's a little bit dry. And so we're actually got a whole new unit coming, so we're going to install that also tomorrow. And the other thing back here in the rear end, it's got a little bit of a leak in the carrier bearing, so we're going to replace the seal in there as well. So, and nothing's hitting the ground, it's just seeping a little bit, so it's just a couple things I'm going to do in here. You can see here the mufflers. This truck sat since 07. It was ran a little bit here and there, but it was basically not on the road very much. We've kind of went through it and double checked everything, and overall, it's an awesome truck. But it has some little holes right here in the bottom of these Flowmasters, and the Flowmasters sound great, and it actually doesn't smoke underneath here. You can actually see it doesn't see any. Usually you'll see trails of exhaust, but it doesn't smoke underneath the truck. but I'm not going to replace those. If you actually want them replaced, I do have a good exhaust shop here. So, exhaust shop. And if you wanted them replaced, I could set an appointment and we could get those replaced for you before it takes off at your cost. But you could put flow masters or some turbos on it or whatever you like. But I'm not paying for it, but if you want it done before it leaves, I have a really good guy that can do that. So you can look inside the bed right here. You know, it's not hit or damaged. Up here, you can see some surface rust. I actually took some of this stuff out of here. There was some undercoating, but this is underneath the bed up there in the corners. Very, very solid. You know, it just needs to be cleaned up and painted. You can see the same thing over here. I mean, this is excellent, and I just scraped some stuff away, so it's nice. You can see in here there's no damage. You know, the reverse lights aren't working. That's the only thing not working back here. And actually there was a little pigtail on the transmission, and I don't know where that wire goes, but I don't know if you can just run a wire back here and make them work, but it was missing. You can see here it's not rusty and no damage. You know, no little wormholes or something where someone's put a bunch of Bondo. You can see down here, no bubbling. We'll just walk around here. You can see the bottom of the bed. You know, the rockers are really, really clean. I did show you the little bubbles in the bottom of the doors right here with the rockers. You know, structurally this truck's great. Even the bottom of the fender's awesome. Go here to the passenger side. Again, the bottom of the fender's nice. A couple little bubbles in the bottom of the doors. But rockers are very, very nice. And the cab, the original spot welds. You can see the bottom of the bed. You know, it's actually real clean. So anyways, this gives you just a general idea of it underneath. You know, instead of just doing still photos, you know, just showing you different things. But overall, it's a nice truck underneath.